This part of the book is an exploration into what it means to be a woman today. It's a journey I've been on for the past decade, on my own and with my treasured girlfriends. And what I've discovered is that our journey into womanhood has its own intricate path. We've long known for many of us about the hero's journey, whether we've called it that or not. Developed by Jungian analyst Carl Jung, it outlines the mythical cycle of a man's journey to victory of his own life. It's a model of the heroic quest. It's been underpinned in the most notable stories in our era, from Star Wars to Top Gun to The Wizard of Oz. In her desire to understand how the woman's journey related to the journey of the hero, one of my favorite teachers, Maureen Murdoch, a psychotherapist working with women in private practice, spoke with her then teacher, Campbell, about this journey back in the 80s. She felt that while the woman's journey incorporated aspects of the hero's journey, there were key elements related to feminine spirituality that were completely missing from Campbell's model. But she was stunned and dissatisfied with his response to her assertion, as he said that women don't need to make the journey. He says that in the whole mythological tradition, the woman is there. All she has to do is to realize that she's the place people are trying to get to. When a woman realizes what her character is, he says that she's not going to get messed up with the notion of being pseudo-male. Oh my gosh, if only that were true, right? Murdoch found his answer so deeply unsatisfying, and that the women that she worked with didn't want to be there to be handmaidens of the dominant male culture. As she says, they needed a new model that understands who and what a woman is. And so she went about creating the model, which she outlined in her groundbreaking book, The Heroines Journey, Women's Quest for Wholeness. And that it would explain so much about women's psychology, their lives, and how to become whole by reclaiming the feminine aspects of themselves. When I first read those lines in that book many years ago, I was kind of stopped in my tracks by the enormity of it. It explains so much to me, and I remember my mind swimming with realizations about so many different aspects of my career, my work, my health. It left me reeling and elated, but mostly I had these thoughts thumping through my brain like this incessant beat on a heavy metal track, that it's not just me. Like, it's not just me that I don't feel at home in my life, and there's nothing wrong with me. I reflected back on my career. I thought about the endless struggles to succeed, the excruciating workload, decades of suffering through 12 to 16-hour days, always being on, never showing any sense of vulnerability or perceived weakness. I remember cramming every waking moment with work, more projects, meeting more deadlines, achieving more goals, getting higher degrees, 2 master's degrees, half a PhD, and striving for more financial rewards. And at the same time, endlessly ignoring my body and the signs of tiredness, then exhaustion, illness, and burnout. I think about the molding and sacrificing and struggling, that if only I was working a little bit harder, was a little bit more like the man, was, removing any form of my perceived weaknesses as a woman to fit in better and deliver greater results, then I'd finally feel like I belonged, that it would finally be worth it. But it wasn't. We wonder why women don't stay in workplaces past a certain level. We talk about glass ceilings and quotas and flexible work, childcare and job share. But we don't talk about the issues at the very heart of women's lives that eventually drive those who found themselves on the heroine's journey, whether they know it or not, running as fast as they can from the structures that have kept them caged. We don't talk about the feminine betrayal of us as women betraying the feminine within ourselves. The fact that we have denied the core of who we are for so long, that it has taken away our very real identity as women. And that betrayal shows up as stress, as burnout, as depression and isolation, divorce, anger, cancer in our breasts, our ovaries and our bones. That it's not our fault, as we didn't even know it was happening, or that the betrayal wasn't really ours to own, but the patriarchy that existed all around of us and inside of us. The balance we're really seeking as women that I talk about in this part of the book is the balance between our feminine and our masculine. For both to reside peacefully with equanimity inside of us. To be able to craft our own definition of success and not have to betray the feminine aspects of ourselves as we make our way in the external world. This really is the heart of this book, this exploration into what does it actually mean to be a woman today, and how can we reclaim that and redefine it for ourselves. I hope you love this part as much as I loved the journey that I went on as I wrote it, and that it really helps you step further into your own womanhood.